Hey guys, I hope you had a wonderful New Year's. I actually wanted to get this video out pretty quick because there's a few things that I wanted to go over today on the Hytale website. So I know a lot of people go through some of the concept art, and today I think is the time that we're going to go through all of the concept art. And as you can see, there's a good chunk of concept art. I'll probably be doing another article reading coming up soon. And I'll also start my daily schedule, or my usual schedule, on putting out regular indie games. So the first thing that we're actually going to be looking at is this thing called the Alter Verses, which I thought was kind of interesting that they even had this concept art, because it kind of shows how, similar to how Minecraft was when they had the I guess people used to call it, they had the Nether, and then they had the Overworld, and then you had the End. And that was really it. You just had the three. And that's why it's kind of interesting that we have, I guess, 5 verses, or 5 planets, so to speak. Or, I don't know how you would explain this, because it's alter verses, so altered universes, I guess. So, I guess it would be pretty cool. But this could bring a lot of potential into the game with using different worlds for different things. And especially since this is going to be player-based, and with so much development and the ability to create your own servers in Hytale, I know that it's going to be really interesting to have the majority of these planets and everything else set up. So I think it would be pretty cool. So this was actually pretty interesting. Was the containers that you'll find in the game. And just like any other RPG game, you're going to find loot, and you're going to find chests, and you're going to find, random barrels that you find in random games, So, to put it all together, we had 4 primary ones that you can see in this picture, which is the jar, the wooden case, the stone casket, and the rotten barrel. And honestly, if you think of any other game, I think of The Legend of Zelda, for example, when you have the jars, and you gotta break the jars, and then stuff pops out of the jars, or the wooden case, where it's like a little crate, and you open up the crate, and you get stuff from, like, Call of Duty, stuff like that. So, I think it's got a lot of potential, and I think it's pretty cool that they're putting out some containers. And then on the right here, we have the Goblin Den, which I think we'll find a lot more structures similar to the Goblin Den in the future. And I can't wait for that, because it's going to be pretty awesome. Okay, so here were some simple concept arts that were pretty straightforward. And I think they were just trying to show that there could be a variety of things in the game that they're planning on adding. And even though not everything is shown, for example, I don't think the air balloon would even count, but we don't have, like, backpack items. It's showing that our characters will be able to put on backpack items, such as the leather backpack that's shown right there, the backpack, or the back propeller, the mechanical wheels, or wings, just honestly done, turtle carapace, and faction totems, which I'm not entirely sure if that was supposed to be on the back or not. But the capes and other things like that are for the back. So I think that's pretty interesting that those are available and it's present in the game. So just keep that in mind, that we might have some backpack items in the coming future. Okay, so I actually took a look at this multiple times, and they even have some in-game footage showing that these are confirmed. However, the things that aren't confirmed were, we don't have a whole lot of things confirmed from the previous concept arts, other than in the trailer when we have the diving device from the previous concept art. That's really the only one that I remember. The Goblin Den is a so-so, because we had the door in the entrance, while this one also has a door in the entrance. So, if we take a look at it, it says main inspiration and scale, Zone 1 entrance, and it shows like different zones to different dungeons, which is pretty cool. So, the lanterns on the side of the doors are orange until the player completes the challenge inside. So lanterns indicate completion, which is pretty cool. And then there's the opening, and then entrance is composed of 2 main materials. One is not changed with zones, and one is zone specific. 2 examples. So if you see, like right here, right where the orange is, that kind of distinguishes what type of zone it is in the dirt right here, which is pretty cool. And then I guess there are portals that define over here where you have there's the entrance, there's the opening, there's the portal underground. And then you go into the portal, and that's your dungeon, yada yada yada. Now, I don't know what to say about this. And this is a Furin, a Howling Sands, I guess? So, a Furin. I'm not too familiar with this, actually. So, I guess these are their own species. It's pretty interesting, because just like how we have the Quebecs with their, younger stage and then their older stage, you can see there's like a young Furin, which I think those are way cuter than Quebecs, but whatever. Furins, we have the Furins, and then we have, I guess, an older Furin, because you can still see the ears. They're, slightly sharper. I'm not 100% certain, but the features still look exactly the same, especially with the bracelets right here. They have the rings. So I think that's what that overall is. And assuming that we're getting this right and that they're enemies, they do look a little bit more radical than the Quebecs, of course, because I think the Quebecs are confirmed to be one of the first species that you're going to encounter in the game, which is pretty cool. So again, they have generated structures, and they have different things. Then we can see there's a little bit of history right here. Freedom bracers, traditionally worn by all Furin to remind them of their past slavery. Each piece is engraved with the symbol wind symbol, which also means freedom. So I wonder if there's going to be more symbols in the future, because we're starting to see in the concept art that there's also little engravings everywhere. And then back in the door, I'm going to jump back here real quick. They had features engraved motifs, a sword and an orange diamond. Okay, so there's like the little sword. There's a lot of symbolism in this game. So, I don't know. We could see a lot of things here. Old drawing showing an enslaved Furin and a Skaric soldier. So, I guess there is a lot of tension between those. Okay, so this is what really got me hype when I took a look at this, because they already have an idea of like how everything's going to work. So here's like a standard watchtower, and I'm guessing these are going to be raidable. And this is also in the Howling Sands, so I guess that's a type of biome. I know I like looked back here, I was like, what's the Howling Sands? But I guess it's a type of biome. So as we can see, there's going to be watchtowers, and imagine like Furins being in different locations. And honestly, this looks amazing. I really like this. Just because of the depth that they put into everything. And trading posts and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. So I can't wait to check everything out when we get into game. Okay, so here's going to be the interesting part. Because they have representation on everything. And again, we kind of see right here how it says wind, and then it has in parentheses freedom. That's telling me that it's kind of important. I don't know what the stipulation is with it, but it's pretty important. So there are different symbols that we're probably going to have to learn. And if you actually think about it, it's not the Chorks, but it's the golems. The picture of the golems that I actually made a fan art on my Twitter, but the golems have these right here, which is really interesting. So you can find these little markings on the side of the golem, and that might actually have something to do with the evil, aspect of them. But I just thought it was really interesting that there's the evil and then evil contained. It has like different names. And we're going to have to figure out what all these mean later. And I have a feeling that we're going to figure it out pretty fast. So, once we get into game, there's probably going to be some sort of way to figure it out, and we'll probably learn these as we go. And I'm guessing this is also elemental damage, because there is elemental damage on the weapons, if you guys remember. When I went over some of the video on the UI, and they actually mentioned I mentioned some of the weapon slots. So I think that's pretty cool that there's even a system, like a specific system. Okay, so here's something very, very interesting, and we're gonna have to take advantage of this when we get into the game. But I guess there's not necessarily a storyline, but maybe there's a specific character in game that we can run into. And I think that'd be really cool if we got into Hytale and were able to meet some of these people. The Hytale. So, I don't know if these are all just Klops, as they're called, like Cyclops. See how he has the one eye? So, I guess there's a little cellar, secret chest, and then there's like the kitchen and all that. Now, there's not a whole lot of detail on what's going on right here, but we gotta check that out when we get. Now, this is gonna be interesting. A kraken in the deep ocean. So, the deep ocean biome is gonna consist of multiple creatures, and I already know so much of that. But I think it's pretty crazy that they even like showed us something so early. So I think that's pretty cool that we're gonna be able to check out some of the things that some of the bosses that they've already kind of given us a peek, but we don't know like what their weakness is. We don't know how much health they're gonna have. We don't know anything about them. So I love this guy right here. All right, and then one of our closest friends, the Quebecs. So as you can see, we have Quebec concept art, and they're already confirmed to be implemented into the game. And I think people would be disappointed if they weren't implemented into the game. But check this out, and we have different little creatures and stuff like that. And then we also have how their housing arrangement is and stuff like that. Now what's really interesting is this cute little rabbit pet right here. And I don't know if they can like have pets and stuff, but I think that's really interesting. And then we also have different weapons and stuff like that that don't seem to be Quebec, because they use regular spears from the concept that we've seen in the past. So I don't know if that is a craftable item or it is implemented with them or not. Also, engraved stone with a simple wind rune. So again, there's the freedom symbol. Now I think that's going to be all for today. I'm glad you guys were able to watch the video. If you guys really liked the video, leave a like and a comment below on what else you would like to see in some of the concept arts. I know we only got through 10 concept arts, but I really appreciate all of you checking in on these videos, because I'm going to really enjoy Hytale when it comes out. And I know there's a lot of people that really enjoy Hytale just as much as I do, and we're going to have a whole bunch of fun when we get there. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.